for breads that are good for you. There are some, so I'm not saying there aren't any, and it's not like you can never have a piece of bread again in your life. I'm not about taking away everything from your diet or stripping you of what you love to eat. But when you do start removing these ingredients from your diet, it makes a huge difference. Your palate changes so quickly. Like you don't even want to put those bad ingredients into your body, because when you do, your body's like, why are you doing this to me? I can attest to this. A little bit about me. I had a lot of weight gain when I was 2010. So it's almost been about a decade. So 2015-ish, 2014, 2015-ish. I was put on a medication called Wellbutrin, and it lowered my seizure threshold and it caused me to gain weight like slowly over time, even though I was doing exactly what I always did, which included eating carbs. So, and going back to that, if you don't want to fast and you don't want to adopt a fasting lifestyle, that's totally fine. It's my mission to help you learn what to put in your mouth that is good for your body, that's going to fuel you, and for you to avoid those things that are just going to derail your health outcomes that you want to see. If you do want to adopt a fasting lifestyle, like I am all for that. I didn't even know that I was fasting. It was about, so I was slowly gaining weight because of the medication that my provider put me on. Side note, I'm down to one medication right now, one, and it's for my ADD. So I'm trying to stay focused here on that. So I was up to about 6 or 7 different medications for like high cholesterol, high blood pressure. They were switching my medications all around. It was just a whole bunch of mess. And I believe that removing certain ingredients from your diet, I don't believe, I know that it will super benefit any kind of health outcome that you're wanting. So if you have diabetes and you want to reverse that or get your A1C below a certain number, diet. If you want to lose weight and improve the way that you feel in your clothes, diet. It's all about nutrition. Yes, you have a metabolism. Yes, you have the means to go out and exercise. I'm not saying don't do that. Like, of course, you're going to keep your metabolism, but I'm not saying don't go out and exercise. Exercise is super important as well. But if you want to make a big change, it starts with diet first. Like, that's all there is to it. I'm going to try to loop it back here to my point. It'll come. Full circle moments happen with me. So, yeah, those, I'll get back to it. There all are healthy alternatives though. So honey, maple syrup, monk fruit, whole fruits, sweet potatoes, quinoa, and whole grains. And I'm going to be talking about, there are a lot of foods that are considered carbohydrate, but they're more nature's carbs or from the earth carbs. And those are the ones that we want to get, not when we walk into the middle of a store and it's a processed box of macaroni and cheese, right? So it's not only going to have a massive amount of carbs in here. This also has bad seed oils. I found this out yesterday, the canola oils in there. But one serving of this, okay, is 4 ounces. I don't have my conversion table. 4 ounces, 4 ounces, 4 ounces. Handy measurements. 4 fluid ounces is 8 tablespoons, okay? So, or 1/2 cup. So 1/2 cup, if you were to make this boxed family size macaroni and cheese, I will say, I love me some of this brand shells and cheese. But when we're looking at the nutrition label, so make sure you know how to read a nutrition label. If you do not, go and check out one of my other videos. But if you check the nutrition label, we're going to go down to the carbohydrates here, right? So I'm just going to read it for you. 49 grams of carbohydrate. That's that's what you should be aiming for in one day. So no matter where you're at on your wellness journey, it doesn't matter where you start, it doesn't matter what you've done, doesn't matter what your goals are in the future. I guarantee if you get these three toxic ingredients out of your body, these refined carbohydrates, these bad seed oils, and the obesogens that I'll be talking about tomorrow, you get them out of your system, it's going to do wonders. Like it's magic. And now I'm coming back to my full circle moment here. Uh, I didn't know I was fasting. I was put on that prescription called Wellbutrin. My seizure threshold was lowered and I gained weight like over 10-year period. It's all still coming to fruition now because I didn't even realize that I was fasting until July 15th, 2024. I had my first seizure January 5th, 2023, right? I didn't even know I had it. I thought, I don't know, why are my pants wet? Like, why do I have a huge bruise on my arm? Why does my head hurt? Why can't I swallow? At the time, I had my ex pick up a COVID test because I'm like, God, my throat really hurts. And I was all loopy. And well, that's what happens when you have a seizure, which is strange when you are a 39-year-old female who has never had like a seizure in her life. So it was like it was it was crazy and I didn't know what happened at the time, but it was a blessing. It honestly was a blessing because if I hadn't had that seizure, I probably still would have been, I don't know, I was 206 pounds at my height weight that I knew of because I refused to go to the doctor and step on the scale because it was just so embarrassing. And I think I went to the doctor and I refused to get on the scale because it's embarrassing. I didn't feel like myself. I wasn't happy. I felt puffy. I felt gross. I felt like I was hiding in my clothes. It was just not great. So this is why I said, even if you don't want to fast, because when I had that seizure, they took me off the Wellbutrin on January 6th, right? And then I just continued to do what I was doing. I've been in health and wellness for 20 years. I have my master's degree in health promotion management. I'm not putting out there to say like, oh, I have a master's degree. It doesn't matter what I did, what I ate. I could have eaten an apple. And I remember saying to my bestie Liz, God, I wish I could, like, I don't understand. Like, I'm eating everything that I normally eat. Why, like, I could eat an apple and I would put on like 6 pounds. It was just, I was just doing the same thing that I always done. And actually, I was probably being more restrictive. And I was going to the gym. I was working out and same bestie, she got me like these workout towels and she was great, but should have listened to her because she told me, you've been on birth control since you were 16. You're getting like discoloration in your forehead. Like, I know this is off the refined carbohydrates topic, but I just thought I'd go there. So, uh, buddy, get off of his bed, please. Come on, get up on the couch. I'm having a Great Dane bed dispute. Buddy, bud. Oh, please hold. Buddy, come on. Move. Come on. Come on, get up on the couch. Or you can come over here and help me educate about refined carbohydrates and I guess more about myself. But uh distraction. So I'll get into my like not trusting like big pharma, big healthcare, big food in another episode. But that's a cute girl. So I was taking off the medication and I actually started to use this thing called Modir, which my mom like hooked me up with. And it's like shakes and like I call it like this algae drink. It wasn't really algae, it looked algae though. Um, but I was just listening to my body and I was just doing the same thing that I always done. Well, I figured out a year and a half later on July 6th, it was like 2 in the morning, so it might have been the 16th, but I was sitting there and I was just trying to educate myself because I had joined this health coaching entrepreneurship program called OAA, and it's another school community. So I'm sure if you're watching this video on my school community, you can go and search for OAA because it is. I realized today when I was on the call with Chloe, Success with Chloe, I love Chloe. She, I had a realization after the call today, and I said, this hasn't just been good for me trying to figure out how to start my business because no business sense whatsoever. I worked for everybody else for 20 years, different organizations and city governments and the government. And so, sorry, I'm like processing things still. So it things come up in my head and I'm just like, "Eh." uh, yeah. And the eyes go, holy shit, holy shit. That's what I've been doing. Like, I think the first video, she's like, you don't even need to eat properly or well or better. You can literally shrink your eating window, right? So if you normally eat like 6 meals a day, or you're a grazer. I thought I was a grazer. I wasn't really a grazer. Uh, you don't even have to eat properly. Take whatever you're eating and crunch your time that you consume it in window. So if you wake up and you have breakfast at 7 a.m. and you're on the road by 8, and then you get to work at 9, then you have your morning snack, and then you have your no, 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 no. You're never going to be able to switch into your fat burner system. And we'll get into all of that later. I know I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm trying to stay on just one topic, but it just is, it's exciting for me, honestly. It's exciting because I was going to like Sonic and getting a large blast or whatever their blizzard, or sorry if I'm mixing up their thing. And I was getting like so much sugar, so much sugar. So I'm not saying to keep eating all of this refined carbohydrates and stuff, but I would go to the beer market in Lampasas and I would get an order of cheese sticks, and then I would go to Sonic and I would get a large blast and I would eat like half of it and I put the rest in the fridge. And then I get up the next day and then I wouldn't eat until, I don't know, like 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'd have like my food and I would graze on it because I can't stop talking a lot of the times. And funny note, when people ask me, like in my Bible study and stuff, like, how are you so skinny? How are you so skinny? And I'm like, good genes and good muscle memory because I played lacrosse in college and I swam growing up. And I didn't know how to answer. I literally did not know how to answer. Like, I was fasting, I was intermittent fasting. I was still, I was actually eating more shit food during that time period because I was, life and, you know, I was eating my feelings. No, I was, but so wrapping that little statement up here. Oh, good. I can stay on track with my timers. To wrap that up, even if you don't want to adopt a fasting lifestyle, I hope that you consider incorporating what I'm telling you now, at least getting these 3 bad toxic ingredients to your body out of your diet, out of your pantry, and keep them out of your mouth. You don't even have to start fasting, but please, it's going to be highly beneficial to you, to your body, to your health outcomes that you want to see. And if you're a parent, or you're taking care of a parent, or you're taking care of anybody else besides yourself, I mean, honestly, I don't even have children. I have 3 Great Danes, and when I was on the video doing the bad seed oils call, my mom was on there. She's like, well, do you think you give that to your dogs? I'm like, I wouldn't even give that to my dogs, honestly. Like, I wouldn't. So if I won't give it to my dogs, you know, think about how you want to set yourself up for success. If you have somebody else that you're taking care of in your life, help them set up for success too, as best you can. I know not everybody wants to change, not everybody wants to go off of their routine, and that's fine. To each their own. Like we all need to always find our own path. And I mean, I'm grateful that I just listened to my body and I was like, it really did work. And I guess I'm living proof of that. So thanks, Dr. Mindy Pels. You're amazing. And can't wait to get your book next month. Eat Like a Girl. I already have Fast Like a Girl. So and funny side note, before I dive in here, I'm not gonna have near enough time because I've been doing sugar demos for like a long time. Um, I have a lot of stuff that I need to show you about that. So I want to dive into just a little bit more about like why the refined carbohydrates and sugars and not nature's carbs are bad for you. But there is just so much and they are everywhere. But we're gonna get there. All right, so let's talk about how I saw this great thing on YouTube. If you're not watching YouTube and you need to learn how to do anything, get on YouTube and learn. I learned how to feed a weed whacker the twine string cutting stuff. I learned, I mean, I learned that I was fasting. Oh, that was a side note. My mom was also fasting when she retired from working at Rochester General Hospital. Um, she lost about 90 pounds, and that's about how much I lost too. It's just funny. It's kind of kismet, right? Like, it's funny how everything works out. And I remember being overweight and being like, what is my mom doing? Like, that's how I got the Modir. And that was like the supplemental thing. But honestly, it was just all listening to my body in the end. And that's what my mom does too. She has her little raspberries and her Swiss cheese in the afternoon. And then that's like her first meal. And so it's kind of been a cool discovery to have happen. And also I think it was like, it wasn't even on the same time that I realized that I was fasting, that I realized that she was fasting too. I was like, Mom, you're doing it too. And then I pre-ordered her Eat Like a Girl. And then we both got on a little webinar with the Dr. Mindy and Chef Leslie, and it was great. So yeah, anyway, so side note, here's a okay, I'm gonna just tell the story. So my dad had to have a procedure done and she was in the hospital, and the doctor that she worked with, like for years, not like 20 years, but like 5, 6 years, didn't even recognize her when he was in my dad's room and she was sitting there, and then she was out doing her like she called it like her hospital pace, or like she's got little legs, she's real short. She's like here on me. I don't know. So she's got to take like 3 steps for every 1 step that I take. And she's out doing her hospital, walk around the halls. And she went up to him and he's like, he didn't even recognize her. How crazy is that? It's just, yeah, it feels so good being in like the skin that you belong in. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like myself. I feel happy. I feel like I felt like before but I feel even better. Um, so let's talk a little bit about refined carbohydrates. Enough about me. I wasted a good 35 minutes on that. Or so. I don't know. I'm not good with math. I don't have a pencil and paper. Okay. So refined carbohydrates, tortillas, bread, cereal, cookies, cakes, crackers, pasta, everything that is, I'm not going to say everything, 99% of what's in the middle of the store in the aisles, that's going to be refined carbohydrates. If you want to have better carbohydrates, those are going to be around the perimeter. Okay. Let me give you some of those before I start trash talking my carbs here. All right, here's some good examples. So vegetables, okay? I love me some good frozen vegetables, and it takes me back to my childhood, and I don't care. I get those peas and carrots, and actually last night I put lima beans in there too because I love lima beans. Leafy greens, though. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and arugula. I actually have all of those in my fridge right now. Broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, bell peppers, zucchini, cucumbers. So I actually have all of that. I made an epic trip to the grocery store. It wasn't even, I didn't even buy that much stuff, but I bought good stuff, good vegetables, good healthy items. And it didn't even cost me that much. I was very cognizant of what I was looking at. I was very like looking for the coupons and the deals, and it is possible to do. Trust me, you can do it on a fixed budget. If I can do it, you can do it. I know I have a lovely kitchen, but life happens. So fruits. Okay, especially low glycemic index fruits. I'm gonna write that down in a note that low glycemic index foods. Chat. I'm the only one on here, so it doesn't really matter. I can write my notes if I want to. Okay, so glycemic. I could spell that right. That would be amazing. Okay. So berries. Berries are awesome. Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, any kind of berry, those are great. So you want to eat berries, okay? Uh, apples, pears, oranges, grapefruits, avocado. Okay. Another shout out to Dr. Mindy here. She says that if she was on an island and she could take one food with her, which one would it be? Avocado. And I know, okay, so I know this is hard because I don't like avocado personally, neither does my mom. I'm trying to incorporate it in. I can get some guacamole, maybe eat it with some queso, but number one superfood. It is awesome. It has so many benefits to it. It's great and full of healthy fats as well. So starchy vegetables, sweet potatoes, squash, pumpkin, and then whole grains. So if you are wanting to learn how to fast, there's different times that you would incorporate these in, and we'll get to that. But this is like basic 101 stuff here, and a little about me too. Quinoa, brown rice, oats, and farro. And then legumes like lentils, chickpeas, black beans. Ooh, I'm going to make some hummus. I cannot wait to make hummus. I looked at all of the hummus packages in my HEB, which is my grocery store. So your Food Line, your Kroger, your whichever, Wegmans, mom and dad, Walmart. It doesn't matter where you get your groceries, okay? But mine is small, so that does matter. So there could be hummus out there that does not have bad seed oil in it. And I was so disappointed because it was like the organic, the like expensive. Always check that ingredient label first, okay? Always going to come back to that. Check the ingredients first on that nutrition label. I don't want to spill my chia seeds here. But when you're looking at the nutrition label, this is perfect. Organic black chia seeds, one ingredient, right? So always look at the ingredients first. All right, and then we have nuts and seeds like almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds. And then why are these better? Okay, so they're fiber rich. When you have a refined carbohydrate, so this started as wheat, right? How much fiber do you think is in that? Like literally none. There is, if any, right? Fiber helps you keep full longer. It helps stabilize your blood sugars as well. So if you are eating a lot of carbs and you don't have any fiber in there, or if no matter what you're eating, if you don't have fiber in there, your insulin and your blood sugar could be spiking. Okay. So you want to have some fiber in there. And fiber is very, very difficult to get, especially in the American diet, if you're eating refined carbohydrates. Okay. It lowers your lower the glycemic impact on your body, so they don't cause rapid blood sugar spikes like refined carbs do, making them better for insulin sensitivity. And then they are nutrient dense. So first and foremost, like we want to be eating things that are fueling our body and making us feel better, right? Not just putting some sugar in there and give you a little like energy and then you crash an hour later. You shouldn't be hungry and you shouldn't feel like you need a nap when you are, you know, an hour or two after you eat. It's not good. Okay, so on YouTube, getting back there now, it was a great scenario. And it really, I looked at it and I was like, that makes a lot of sense. I like to have things that you can associate. So, for example, like putting, if you're filling up your car with gas, right? It's a regular car, like you wouldn't put diesel in it, right? Because that would just mess up your engine and make it not be able to run properly or if at all, right? So, um, I guess a visual or like something to associate it to. So when I was watching this doctor on YouTube and he was talking about refined carbohydrates, and he made this scenario of when you look at how something is broken down and processed, right? We don't want those processed. He made the association between I'm making a mess already, but when you refine corn, right? This is what it ends up looking like, which is this. Would you eat this? Would you eat? I wouldn't. This is what I put on my dog's talons if I'm trying to trim them and they, I hit the quick or whatever. This is this. You wouldn't sit down and eat a bowl of this, would you? No, because it would taste like shit. But when they refine corn in this sense, down to that, I mean, it has a purpose, clearly. Like, don't want my dogs to bleed all over the house if they, I accidentally hit that, which I don't, I just use the grinder. So you could still like get the quick with that, honestly. But yeah, it just made it real for me. So, oh God, see, now it's like a pasty mess because I had that like volcano thing with my. Mhm. So when you think refined, think think of this. Would you sit down and eat a bowl full of this? No, I wouldn't either. Be pasty, pasty AF. All right. So to avoid having that insulin spike and that energy drop off, we need to be looking at what we're eating. So I have some examples here. So think about making better choices first. Okay. Eliminating something out of your diet completely is difficult. And it's difficult for me. When I found out I was fasting, I was like, oh my God, I have to do this right. Oh my God. No, everybody has to find their own path, what works for them. Listen to your body. Okay. But have a little bit more knowledge going into it with what you're putting into your body. Okay. So for example, here I have home style tortillas. Okay. Super tasty. I will tell you my favorite, and I think about this a lot, and I can't do it because if I do it, it will not make me feel good. It literally I will feel not great at all. And there's other ways around it. Oh gosh, I make so much good food, you guys. It's like unbelievable. I can't wait to start like cooking on here. So we have these tortillas, right? Again, skip down past the calories. Calories in, calories out does not work. Trust me. Trust me. Well, I don't want to get into another tangent because I only have 23 minutes left. Oh, that was my college lacrosse number. Hey, 23 grams of carbs. Now, remember what I said in the beginning. We're trying to aim for 50 net carbs a day. It's difficult, especially if you're used to eating one tortilla that. So if you have two of these, you are at already almost 50 carbs a day for your day. Now we have like a carb sense tortilla here. This one has 13 grams of carbs. 10 less, better, right? So it's more sensible, I guess. Still not great. Oh, goodness me. Okay. I didn't even see. I didn't even look at the ingredients. I was just looking at the cart. Okay. We're gonna go over more ingredients like that you should not be eating. Okay, now I have like a this is a tortilla that is in like the refrigerator section. It's a corn tortilla. This one has 11 grams of carbs, including 0 grams of added sugars. Both the carb one and the all three of these have no added sugar. So that's a good start. Okay, so if you're looking at that, the nutrition label, I'll go over that more in the nutrition label. Done a couple of videos, but I know I need to do more. If it has added sugar in it, mm-mm. If it has a minimal amount of added sugar and it's like healthy in every other way and has no other toxic ingredients in it, okay, like I'll do that shit too. Let's be realistic here. We're not going to be able to cut like every single thing out of our diets in the beginning, especially in the beginning, but you will work up to it, okay? All right, I was going over nutrition label. I'm trying not to show labels. I don't want to get sued because I don't. Okay, this is a box of, am I allowed to say General Mills? Because seriously, just get all the cereal out of your cabinets. Like now, cereal is not your friend. It's not good. I know it's what we were raised on. You know, you know who made the breakfast is the most important meal of the day? Cornflakes. Do you think they wanted to sell you something? Because I'm sure they do. And they do. Okay, so this has horrible ingredients for you, by the way, but 32 grams of carbs for 1 cup. 32 grams of carbs for one little cup, right? Why would you eat? It's not even good, right? It's all sugar. It's not even it's you want me to read the ingredients? Whole grain corn, sugar, cornmeal, corn syrup, canola and or safflower, oh sorry, sunflower oil, and or oh, this is great. Refiner's syrup. There's 262 words that the food industry will use for sugar in products. Yeah, 262. And that was like 2 weeks ago. So if I updated that, it might be up to like 265. Who knows? They are sneaky. They don't care about your health. And you're going to get addicted to this. Like, that's just how it is. Our bodies want to taste this, right? Because it's so good. That's why chips taste like they do. That's why cereal tastes like it does. Every single bite is the same, right? Because it's like they make it that way. They make it that way because you get addicted to it. And where do you go? You think about this cereal, you think about your favorite chip. I'm thinking about my favorite foods and I'm like drooling right now because I'm like, we're not set up for success. So we had to make our own path and we had to literally maneuver because nobody gives a shit about your health besides you. Maybe your provider if you have a good one. But let's just say big food, big pharma, and big healthcare are not interested in about your diet for the most part. There are some very, very good providers out there, okay? Not knocking all doctors. I actually love my provider. We haven't gone over my nutrition or anything, but I don't know. Maybe she thinks I'm good. We'll get there. Y'all get to know me and my story a little bit, and then you'll understand a little bit better. But I do want to say this because this is my mom's favorite cereal with a banana. And last night I was talking to my client, Ben. Hey, Ben. And he goes, I should bring up his text because he basically said, like, what the hell? Like, I just don't understand. Like, everything we were brought up with, like, isn't healthy. And I'm like, I know. And it's This is not a box of like nutrition. This is a box of sugar. This is a box of poison. This has 1 cup again. So 1 cup, 46 grams of carbs, 46 grams of carbs for 1 cup. So if you're working towards that like 50 grams of net carbs a day, right? There it is. You can choose. Do you want to have this or do you want to have a whole ton of good carbs that'll fill you up, keep you energized, not spike your blood sugar? Yeah, I know. It's crazy. And it's first and foremost, I should have started off with this. It is not your fault. It's not any of our faults. How are we expected to be successful in a society that literally just stocks the shelves with poison? It is painful for me to go into Walmart and not try to bring out my phone and be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like I had to put like blinders on because I'm like, oh my God, get me to the healthy food section, get me to the like the healthier options because I just once you realize what you're putting in your body, it makes you think a lot different about, oh wow. Oh, I didn't need a nap today. I haven't taken a nap. I used to, when I was overweight, I'll share that picture of me. My favorite picture is on a Halloween in 2022. I was dressed up as Beetlejuice. Don't say that 2 more times. Not until the video's over. And I was eating a Chipotle burrito, like on my couch in my office, wrapped up in my tortilla blanket. And then I crashed out. I mean, I think I had like a little bit of it, and then I literally napped for like an hour. So yeah, every day I needed a nap. Every day I felt like I at least needed a little bit of energy because I was filling my body with crap. Not saying Chipotle's crap, but I'm very careful with what I choose to eat now because yeah, it would suck all the energy. I had no energy no matter what I did, but I was not success. But 46. Okay. I didn't even get, okay, total sugars. Oh, there is 4 grams of fiber. I will give it to you there. 4 grams of fiber, and then 19 grams of sugar, and then 13 of them are included or added. So 13 grams of sugar. 13 grams. All right. That's a lot. So if you want to figure out how many teaspoons of sugar is in whatever you're eating, you take the carbohydrates and divide it by 4. So that would be 11 point something. So 11.2, 1, 11.2 teaspoons of sugar, right? Did I do that math right? Well, I did 44 divided by 4. So then you add points. So yeah, it's like 11.5 teaspoons of sugar. I have all my sugar demo stuff here. I just didn't know if I would have time, and I don't really. It's 14 minutes left. But here's 15 teaspoons. I can get my sugar out real quick. That's the amount you're getting of sugar. Half of this in one of these. Do you want to put that in your body? I don't. Ugh. Um, I am going to do a sugar demo video, like a whole sugar demo video, because it's like shocking. And when we're talking about, all right, because this has got corn syrup. I didn't even have to look to confirm it, but this cereal has corn syrup in it. This has corn syrup in it. When you're looking at like high fructose corn syrup, or unless it says outright sugar, it's going to be some other kind of processed corn, high fructose corn, something else. Okay. And that's what this is. Do you see this? Do you see how this is not sugar, but this is what they put in your food? So yeah. All right. So remember, it's going to cause inflammation. It's going to spike your blood sugar. It's not going to allow your cells to properly function. It's going to age you faster. It's going to give you some energy right away. And then it's going to make you want to take a nap. There is very little, if any, benefit to eating refined carbohydrates and flours and sugars and So I like to give this example too. So this used to be my favorite cracker, like store-bought cracker, right? It only has 3 ingredients. One is bad seed oil, whole grain wheat, canola oil, and sea salt. Okay, so 3 ingredients, great. Canola oil, not great. That's bad seed oil. Does basically all the same stuff to your body that refined carbohydrates do. 6 crackers has 20 grams of carbs. Who's going to eat 6 crackers? I mean, I know I used to. So it does have 0 sugar and 0 added sugar. So that is a plus, but all right. So if you have to have a cracker, we'll find a better one. All right. I love these. I want to give you some healthy alternatives. I'm going to do a bigger deep dive here. I swear it. Swear it. Stick with me here. Before I go over the healthy ones, though, because I only have a couple because I've literally been cleaning out my pantry. I've been saving stuff in my fridge and my pantry because I'm like, I had to record this. I didn't even know this was in here. I didn't even know this was in here. So you're not alone. It's not your fault. It's like you had to put on like your detective glasses and hat and like whole like incognito, I guess, to figure it out. But I'm gonna do a whole one on alcohol too. I know the great spots for that. Let me just do that before I forget. So this is my favorite. Actually, the Sauvignon Blanc is my favorite, but this has 1.1 grams per serving in it of carbs. Another great swap, if you drink Bud Heavy or any kind of heavy beer, Bud Heavy I know has 22 grams of carbs in it. Yingling Flight 2.6. And there's also a lot of different options out there. We can switch. So what is that saving? Like 20 grams of carbs per beer? Think about that, like visceral fat that we, when your body turns that sugar into fat because it needs to store it because it needs to go somewhere. Beer belly, right? Visceral fat. It's around your organs and it's not great. It's not good at all. All right. So I did want to go over this. So this is a can of corn, Southwestern corn. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. It does have sunflower oil in it. So donated. And 13 grams of carbs. So not bad. Like it has 2 grams of fiber, so that's also good. 6 grams of sugar, but 0 of them are added. So besides that sunflower oil, like this would be a healthier pick. There is much better options though for vegetables and but frozen or an ear of corn, better, right? Think whole, think closer to the earth, okay? I'm going to have a side note here too, because I have a lot of stories. I had to get my AC fixed earlier this summer, hot as hell. But the person that they sent over, lovely man, should check up with him. He told me his corn recipe, and I was like, "Oh, great, corn! Tell me, I'd love to hear it." Right? Okay, 1 can of creamed corn, 1 can, right? Like a full size. I think that is this the same amount? I have like depth perception. 11 ounces. Okay, no, this is bigger. So like a 15-ounce can of creamed corn, right? I might have like a sugar spike if I even talk about this. So he did put butter in. I'm going to save the best for last. No, the worst for last. He did put butter in, but 1 can of corn and two cups of sugar. He he's like, well, everybody likes it. And I'm like, no shit, because you're all addicted to sugar. You're addicted. It is addicting. That's how they make the products. It just blew my mind and it broke my heart. Next time he came back, I had no sugar added popsicles that I made for him. And he actually liked it. So, anywho, if it's already got sugar in it, you don't need to add to it. Don't put sugar in your vegetables or just don't do it. That's more. How many ounces is a cup? What did we determine? That's more sugar than the actual corn itself, which already has sugar in it. It was cream. So I don't even know because I don't have cream corn. I haven't checked that label. So, it still makes me kind of like woozy thinking about it. But anywho, let's get into, I did want to go over this. This is like a pasta rings. It is organic. So I'm like, yes, here's some hope. Okay. I was just trying to see if, oh, organic cornstarch. You want some? No, this one can, 53 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fiber, 18 grams of added sugars. Oh, 18 grams of sugar and 13 of them are added. That's more than 3 teaspoons just in added sugar. So don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. I didn't even have a chance to get into like pop or soda pop. It's just so much, you guys. I don't want to overwhelm you, but let me give you the healthy alternatives because I have 5 minutes left and then I can wrap it up. So, all right. So these are healthier options. Gluten-free almond flour. When you see gluten-free in the store and it's like a product, double check those ingredients because from what I found, 90% of the healthy stuff doesn't have healthy stuff in it. It's got healthy stuff, but then they add sugar or they add a bad seed oil or they add who knows what into it. Check the ingredients. But this, I love this. It has one ingredient. So it's almost like if you were to get it from the ground or whatever, the tree or whatever almonds grow on. Almonds grow on a bush, right? Who knows? It says blanched almond flour. Okay. This has 3 grams of carbohydrate, 1 gram of fiber, 0 added sugars, and 3 grams of protein. We haven't even started talking about protein, but hell yeah. All right. And then we have here coconut flour. So you can use these things for like cookies, brown, whatever, breads, cookies, cakes, breads, muffins, pancakes, and more. Cookies, cakes, breads, muffins, brownies, and more. So these are a great alternative. This has 6 grams, so a little bit more, 3 grams of fiber, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 of them are added, and 2 grams of protein. Holla. So there are healthier options out there. And you know what? These weren't even that much more expensive than like the regular flours that they had there. They really weren't. So it is doable. And I don't want to get into whole like saving money and stuff. Fasting will save you money. Fasting saved me a lot of money. And those are the type of ingredients, even if you don't want to fast, you want to look for healthier options like this. I'm going to do a whole nother like eat this, not that type of deal, but 3 minutes. Okay. So to wrap up this video, I want to do a little bit of an action. So I want you to go into your pantry and your fridge and look for your favorite carby option, right? And then look at the nutrition information. First, skip down to those ingredients though. Skip down to those ingredients and then get up to the carbs and look at that label. And then maybe compile a list of like, hey, maybe I'll swap this out for something healthier. And if you want, I don't expect you to cut out tortillas, cheesy tortillas. That was what I was talking about earlier. That was my, you put some shredded cheese on a tortilla and then you stick it in the microwave. It's like so gross, I know, but it's so good. It was so good. Um, but you know what? I'm gonna figure out how I can make some almond tortillas and cauliflower crust pizza. And because you don't have to cut everything out, just always try to go for a little healthier option than you could have. So if you want to not eat a tortilla, then get like a corn tortilla that's got like half the amount of carbs, or get like the carb sense. It's not the 100% best option, but like what is? Like, let's be realistic. There isn't the amount of options compared to like the shit ingredients and the refined carbohydrates that it's not easy, but it's doable. And so here's the thing. Get in your pantry, get in your fridge, get in your cabinets, pull out those ingredients. You're like, that's probably pretty healthy. Pull them out and make a list of what surprised you. Okay. And then think about like, what's a healthier option? And if you have questions or you want to know, hey, what should I be eating instead of this? I'm having a Q&A on Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Time. So that's 3 p.m. Eastern. And then I don't know, I can't do all that math. I always get confused with time changes and stuff. So it's on my school community. It's Rebecca Wellness. If you just want to search for that, I might be changing the name to Kismet Wellness soon, because that's originally what I wanted to go with. And if you don't know what Kismet is, because I know there's a lot of people in Texas that I've said, oh, that's Kismet. And people are like, that's not a word. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Look it up. Destiny, like your path. Like, it's just, everything happens for a reason. And yeah, so honestly, I feel like my little journey was a little bit of kismet, a whole lot of it actually. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I know it's all over the place, but I just gotta be me. So, I want to help you be your healthier you and get to feeling as amazing as I do now, because once I found out that I was fasting, like I haven't had a sonic blast or whatever they call them in, I can't even imagine how long. There's a lot more to go over. We'll get there. Don't worry. I'm here to help you along your way and help you get to that healthiest you can be and reach those health outcomes and reverse any kind of disease that you got going on and really just happy, healthy life. Okay. Thanks for sticking with me this long. If you've been here, if you want to leave a comment or you have a question, just reach out and let me know. Okay. Thanks, guys.